Hi everyone, another quick tip video today using the demo version of Embrilliance Essentials with Stitch Artist 1. So I've loaded up my demo version and I know I'm in the demo version because at the top of the screen you probably won't be able to see it. It says Embrilliance Demo. When I opened it up, I made sure that Essentials and Stitch Artist 1 was chosen. So this is what I get, a new blank page. One of the features of using Stitch Artist 1 is that you can use fonts that are on your computer, and I showed how to do that in a previous video. I'll put a link to that at the end. But you can also bring in images. And a lot of times I see that people want to put text around the neckline of a t-shirt or sweatshirt and they don't know how to make it curved or how to get the curve correctly. Now, if you've just got basic Embrilliance Essentials, you can do curving text, and I have got a video on my channel showing how you can do it. But if you have Stitch Artist 1, you can take a photograph of the item that you want to stitch on, and you can bring the photograph into the Embrilliance program, and you can use that as a guide for shaping your text. So I won't be able to save this design and I won't be able to stitch it because I am using the demo version, but I just thought it was a neat feature. And if you have at least Essentials and Stitch Artist 1, give it a try. So like I say, I've already opened up the demo version. I've already taken a photograph of a sweatshirt that I just literally took while it was hung up in a wardrobe, and I've airdropped that onto my Mac computer, so it's in my downloads folder. This is what you'll see with the basic essentials, but you have to be in Stitch Artist 1. So you go to this icon here, which is the create icon, and then it will bring up these other options for you. Click over on the left hand side where it says image. I'm going to go to my downloads and I'm going to select the photograph I took of a sweatshirt. And that's going to bring that photograph onto my hoop here, my virtual hoop, if you like, that you can see on screen. So you can see it here. It's just hung up on a hanger. I just took a photograph of it. I've not cropped it. I literally took the photograph and then it went into the photographs on my iPhone, and from there I just clicked on share and airdropped it to this iMac. So if I select on it, over on the right hand side in the properties pane, you can see that the transparency is 75%. If I take that up to 100, it goes darker. If I take it down, it goes lighter. I'll leave it there as it was for now. One thing I want to say is, if you don't see these boxes over here on the right hand side, you need to go to the very top of your page where it says Embrilliance, and it'll say things like file, edit, utility, etc. Go to view, and under manage views, make sure you've got all these three checked. If you don't have these checked, these boxes over here won't show up. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the text icon. If you hover over it, it says create a lettering design. I'm going to left click on that, and that brings up the ABC on my page, and I'm going to select it. Now, I also see lots of comments where people are saying they're trying to click on this and they're trying to say change this ABC to a word and nothing's happening. Well, that's correct, it doesn't. This is kind of just like a placeholder. You've told Embrilliance you want to use text, and it just automatically comes up with this ABC. And the way to be able to type the text or change this ABC to text that you want is over here in the right hand side, and that's why I said you need to make sure under view you've got these panels showing. So at the top half it shows you what you've got. So you'll see I've got one image, which is this, and then I've got one that says letters, which is the ABC that dropped onto my hoop by choosing this letter A. So now in this properties box, if it's on colour, you'll see a colour swatch. You need to click on letters, and it says text ABC, and that's what's on the page. So you highlight that, and you can either delete it or just overtype it. Choose letters, and then I'm going to choose the circle text, because I'm telling Embrilliance I want to make text either, you know, in an arc or in a circle. You've got multi-line. You can choose multi-line and you can start typing multi-line text. Normally it's the middle one that's by default, which is straight line text. I'm going to say circle. I'm going to highlight the ABC and I'm just going to type grandma all in uppercase on my keyboard and hit enter. And now you can see the grandma has curved, and it's curved, I think, based on the last radius I used. I can't remember what the default is. Also, yours may come in with this box unchecked, so I think by default it curves it upwards. Obviously, if you're putting it round a neckline, you want it to curve the other way, so you choose place on bottom. That changes it. You can adjust the slanting of the text. You can adjust the spacing of the text. If you had more than one word on your page, you could adjust the word spacing or the line spacing. Now, if I bring this over here, you'll see it's got the dotted bounding box around it, and then it's got the square boxes in the corners and like at the 12 and 3 and 6 and 9 position. But you'll also see a blue circle, and if you hover over it, that blue circle turns into a circle with like arrows going in both directions, which means you can rotate it. So from here, if I hover over this circle and I left click and rotate, I can now rotate this design and then just let go of the left click, and then I can drag this into position, and you can see how it's going to look on this neckline that I've photographed. So again, if I rotate it a bit more, I can see how it's going to look. I can make it smaller if I want to, but make sure the letters are selected, and then bring it over. And again, because I've adjusted the size, I can adjust the radius. And by clicking on the image and taking the transparency down, it just makes the letters stand out a little bit more for you. But you know, if you want to see it more, then make your photograph darker, but you may need to change the colour of your text. So if you go to colour, click on the colour swatch, click on threads, and then let's just type in here white and enter or go, and choose white and say OK. It's now made my text white, and I can see whether, you know, that looks OK on this shape. I'm just going to put it back to a nice bright pink for now and say OK. So if you were happy with how this looked, then I would click on the image over on the right hand side over here in like the objects and properties area and hit delete on the keyboard, and then you've got your word shaped. Obviously this you know, word is relatively small for the size of hoop I've got chosen, but you could change your hoop size, say to 100 by 100 millimeters, which is approximately 4 by 4, say OK. And then if you come up to the top of the page, this, as I say, is still Stitch Artist. If you click the white arrow, it brings you to Essentials, if you like, and this icon here is Center Design in Hoop. So you could center your design in your hoop. From here you would go to the top of the page and you would go File, Save Stitch File As, give it a name, save it onto your computer, drag it onto a USB stick and put that into your embroidery machine. I would also print it from here, so I would go to the top of the page and go File. I would go to Page Setup, make sure you've got the orientation that you want and say OK, and then go File, Print, and you can print that design, cut it out and position it on the neckline of your sweatshirt. And if you're happy with it, then, you know, hoop your design and take it to your machine and stitch it out. If not, come back here to your working file. You know, you can bring your image back in again if you want and adjust the size and the rotation. So that's how to use an image to help you position curved text using Stitch Artist 1 and the Embrilliance software. So I hope you like that. I hope you found it helpful. Please give the video a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't already do so, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.